I'm in love with all your lights and your colors.
Guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another little haul. This is not a grocery haul, this is a different haul, but if you want to see grocery hauls, there is a grocery haul and meal planning playlist linked below. Otherwise, hauls like this that's like Kmart, Target, medical like this, just anything that's not grocery will be on the shopping haul non-grocery playlist, which is also linked below. So definitely go and check it out if you're interested in this type of thing. Alright, so today I'm showing you a little, what do I call it, like a medical haul, I guess you could call it. Medicine, medical, that type of thing. So I've gone to Chemist Warehouse. I had to go to 2 Chemist Warehouse because our chemists, our supermarkets just are low in areas for things. One, there's lots of people with COVID, so in my area, so obviously they're selling out of things, then people are buying stuff to prepare in case they need it because they don't have medicine and stuff. And just thinking, I guess, like I am probably, the school is starting, the school year ahead. So right now we've avoided COVID. Luckily, Johnny, I will say, was in isolation last week. I sort of didn't say it on here because it wasn't really a big deal. He wasn't positive or anything, but he still had to. It was just from someone at work, so he had to do isolation here, and he was negative. He had to test every 2 days for his job, and he was negative. But because he's a critical worker, he falls under that bed because of what he does. He still had to go to work. He was allowed to go to work, but he just wasn't allowed to go anywhere else. So that was just the ruling for here in Victoria, but that's what he did. So he didn't turn positive, thank God, and we've avoided it so far. But of course the kids are going back to school, so it's likely that we will hit COVID somewhere, because nearly everyone I know has either had COVID or they know someone, like they've got a relative or a close friend that's got COVID, their kids, their adults, just everyone, vaccinated, non-vaccinated. I will say right now I've only known one person that's been double vaccinated, ended up in the hospital, and they had underlying health conditions. Everyone else that's been vaccinated has had really kind of mild symptoms, so that's been a good thing. They've had more cold-like symptoms. People that haven't been vaccinated have had it more serious, like they've had like gastro and couldn't eat and hard to breathe and gone to the hospital to sort of see, you know, stuff like that. So it is what it is. I'm just telling you what's happened around me. So the kids are not vaccinated right now. I think they will be, but I'm waiting until Johnny has time off to come with me. And school is starting next week, so we're just going to see what happens. I know a lot of kids that have already been vaccinated, so I'm just not even sure who's going to be and who's not going to be at the school. But obviously staffing, teacher, all of those. Any parents that enter the school grounds have to be double vaxxed at least. Teachers have got until a certain date, and staff have a certain date until for the 3 doses, so I would assume parents will have to have the 3 doses to be on school grounds as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's probably where it'll go. I don't really know. So anyway, that's where we're up to. Johnny and I actually had our 3 doses. Kids have had none. So COVID is likely to happen, obviously, so I just want to be prepared medically for it, because in the past when we've gotten sick, if I haven't got stuff, I've gone to the chemist, and it's been a super long time since we've been sick. Like, I would say seriously sick was like at the start of 2020, with really bad colds, we couldn't breathe. It could have been COVID, I don't know, because we never got COVID tests at that point. So well, I don't know what it was, but we've not been sick since, really. Like, I think one of the kids had runny nose at one point or something, but otherwise we've not really been sick with cold-like things. So we've avoided sickness a lot. So we're kind of got half medicine, half not medicine. We're low in times. Usually around winter time, I always try to make sure we have little coughs, because the kids usually get sick from school, which they haven't for the last 2 years because we haven't really been to school, but this year more than likely will. And little coughs is something that always sells out, so I always try to make sure we have that, because it's the only thing that seems to help us with coughs. And then there are other things that I've gotten that we just in general that we need, so I'll show you. But also I was watching a doctor on a news thing, and he just gave some suggestions of things if you did have COVID, things that would help with it. So I will put the link below to that news thing in the description, so if you want to go see that, you can. And I kind of went off that way. I don't have everything that they've suggested, but I've got most things that they've suggested, so that's kind of what the direction was going into this. That's that's what I went. Now the other thing is, if you are in Victoria and you do get COVID, you know, you go online and you register it and all that. If you do like a rat test and stuff, do that, because they have a whole system set up for you that if you've registered as positive, they will call you every day, they will check on you, they'll see if you need anything, they'll help you with groceries if you need it, medicine, all of that. Like, it's a good sort of thing set up. So if this happens to you and your family and you're stuck, you can get help. So if I can find the link to that, I'll link it below as well. So it's just something to keep in mind with school going back. All right, so just a little disclosure here. This is not medical advice. Of course, you need to go and seek your own medical advice from doctors, pharmacists, all that yourself. I'm just showing you what I've got, because most of this stuff is stuff that we've used before and that works for us. So that's why I like to get it. So I'm just showing you guys what I'd have stocked up on. So kids Nurofen, I didn't get any more of that, or the kids Panadol, because they were out. Both the chemists I went to, so I've got to go to another one, completely sold out. The shelves were empty of it, but usually I'll get like a liquid one like this size. And I do have some in our medical box right now. I just don't have any backup because they're quite low too. But I usually get like the liquid one that's in this that has a little syringe, and that's how the kids have it. Like, it works best. You can do it in the little cups, but I found the little cups, when they drink it, it's very thick normally, so it doesn't all come out, whereas the syringe, it comes out. So even we use the syringe as adults, so we like that. So we usually get the Panadol in the strawberry, and I think the Nurofen we usually get in an orange flavor. And then, like I said, little coughs. This is little coughs here. This for us is the only thing that really helps with coughing. Like if you're having a coughing fit or a chesty cough and that, this works best for us. So this is what I get. Now everyone can take this, like adults, there you go. And 6 months onwards. So seek your own medical advice, of course, but for us, this is what we like to have. So we've got this. This always in winter will sell out in chemists, because they don't tend to stock a lot of it, and they do have other brands and things, and we have tried other brands, they just have not worked. Like, this is the only thing. So I like to always make sure I've got plenty of that on hand. Now, if we do get cold, so we start getting a cold, we usually try to go with cold and flu tablets. Now, we've tried different brands and stuff. The only thing that's helped Johnny and I, the kids, the only thing I've used with them is this, so I wouldn't know other brands, but for us is the Ease Cold. That's the only thing that works for us. The packaging has changed, but this is the one that we generally get. So it has like day tablets and liquid night ones. And it just helps. I mean, they taste like, I think they got garlic and herbs and all that kind of stuff in it. I don't think there's anything medical as such in it, I don't think. But they really do help us, and they help fight kind of the start of a cold off. So we like to have this. So it's always good to have a lot of it, because if one of us has got a cold and then the other one catches it quickly, one box is never enough. So I like to have a couple of them. They are expensive, but again, like I said, it's the only brand that works for us, and we have tried other ones. We've tried the Vicks one, we've tried the Coles home brand one, and they just have not worked. This works for us. And then with the kids, these are like chewable tablets, and generally if we're sick, we'll start giving the kids some of these just to make sure they don't, you know, get it. I don't know if it's helped or not, or it's just a coincidence, but they haven't got sick. Or if they started getting sick, we give them this and they're pretty right in a couple of days. So we tend to have these. So these are chewable tablets, so they're really good, because these are way too big for the kids to take. They're about this big, and I don't think even kids can actually take them. Let me check. It says for adults, so I'm going to say probably no one under the age of maybe 16 or 18. You'd have to ask your doctor, but yeah, that's kind of the cold and flu tablets that we like to have. I did get a big box of Panadol here. We prefer to have the capsules rather than the round pills. They're just easier for us to swallow. Again, the kids don't take this. The kids have the liquid form of Panadol, but we always like to have a lot of this. I got this box. I've never seen this size before, to be honest, because I usually just grab it at the supermarket. This is 40 capsules, so this was about $9, I think. Anyway, I grabbed this because I'm very low, and I couldn't get Nurofen, the Nurofen tablets, because there was none. Completely empty on the shelves. All right, vitamins. Johnny and I should probably take other vitamins, but we just don't. But when we do take vitamins, we tend to take ones like these that have the elderberry in them, and we usually start taking them just before winter and stuff too. So right now we're taking them because, you know, COVID's around us and stuff, and we're just trying to build up our immune a little bit higher. Now, I'll talk about this one separately in a second. The reason that I go for these ones is because it's got the elderberry in it, it's got zinc, and it's got vitamin C. Now, they're always good for colds in general and stuff to fight off. But zinc and vitamin C is a big one that's good for fighting off COVID. So I hummed and hard about, because in the past we've just got the kids ones and we've had the kids ones as well, but there are different dosages in each little gummy. They're chewable gummies, they're easy to take, the kids eat them like there's no problem, but there's different dosages of the zinc and the vitamin C and stuff in these. So I decided to get the adult ones again for us. So we go with the Nature's Way, obviously adult one for us, and then the kids one, we get this one. So generally I think the kids, because of their age, let me check, 4 years plus give 3 to 4 per day. So we usually give 3 each. So being that this is a big one, this is 120 pastels, but it's quite expensive, but obviously there's 2 kids having it. So work out the math there. What is that, 40 days I think, maybe? No, not even 20 days. But it helps. I feel like it helps. So we go with this. There is a liquid form of elderberry you can take as well, but we just prefer to have this. And then this is the adult one, and I think for us, so the zinc and the vitamin C and all that is higher, like the dosage in it. So but it says take 3 gummies per day as well. So, and this one here, I think it's only got 65 in it, so it's not going to last us quite as long, but it does help, and it helps build, you know, our immune system. So we like to take these. We try to take them every day, but we do forget. Now if we were to get sick, like actual sick, then we'll switch over to these. So these are a tablet, and they have elderberry and things in them as well, but they've got a much higher dosage of vitamin C in them and zinc. So the reason we don't take these every single day is because there's a thing on the back of this that says, because of the high content of the zinc, it says not to take it as an ongoing every day, to seek medical advice. So you should probably only take this when you're actually sick, I would assume. So we've got this separate just as an extra defense for if someone does get sick. Not for the kids though. This is only for adults, okay? I don't think, let me look at this, adults, it just says adults. So I don't know what adults is classed as, like what age, but you'd have to ask the pharmacist. But yeah, this one I just got to boost it a bit higher if we actually did get sick. So we've got that one as well. Most of the things I'm showing you, you can buy in the supermarket as well, but I would suggest going to Chemist Warehouse if you've got one, because usually it's always cheaper there, even when there's sales at the supermarket. So definitely have a look and compare the prices, especially with the vitamins. And then another good thing to have in the cupboard if you're sick at all, but especially if you've got COVID as well, you get quite dehydrated, especially if you end up with the gastro symptoms and diarrhea and all that. And it's super important to stay hydrated when you've got something like COVID. We get Hydrolyte in. Now, this, I like this. Johnny doesn't like this, but I like it. I will drink this just at times, even if I've been out in the heat and I'm really overheated and dehydrated, I'll drink this. This is a big pack. This is 24 sachets, and oh, if I can get one out to show you. You just mix one of these, I think with just 1 glass of water from memory. Let me just have a look. 200 mils of fresh cold water. So it's a little bit less than 1 cup, and you just stir it up and you just sip away at it. So they're good. And it also says on here like how many of these a day that you can actually have. So that would be more so if you were extra dehydrated, obviously with gastro type things like throwing up and diarrhea and all of that. But they've got these. Now the other thing I did get, because it's difficult to get the kids to drink this, is the Hydrolyte Icy Poles. I actually never tried these with the kids, but we're going to see how they go. So I'm thinking I might put one in the freezer and then see, let me have a look at them and just see if they'll actually, oh, it's not very big, is it? I might put one in because it'll freeze up, and then cut it in half and just get them to try it and just tell them that this will help them when they're dehydrated and stuff, and see how they go with it. Because if I can get them to have this, at least they're having something. But I'm sure if they were so sick, they would drink this in the end, because they would think that it would make them feel better. So I don't know, we'll see how we go. But Hydrolyte, something that's super low everywhere, supermarkets, chemists, super low at the moment. So you just got to go in and see what flavors you can get. The other flavor we like is orange as well, but there was no orange. So it was just the apple and blackcurrant available. So there's my little medical haul for you guys in preparation for the kids going back to school and hopefully not getting sick. But if they do, at least we've got some medicine in the house that hopefully will help the situation. The other thing we actually have on hand, because of that time back in 2020 where we got really sick and could hardly breathe, we actually have what are they called, inhalers as well, and we have a spacer. So a spacer is this plastic round thing that you put the inhaler in one end and you spray into it and you breathe it through. Now my sister's a nurse, and it's actually really good for adults too, because it spreads it through your lungs better than what an actual pump does directly into your mouth. So even Johnny and I use the spacer, and it helps us breathe when we're not being able to. We're not asthmatic, but we've had times where it's been that bad that, you know, we needed that, so it's helped us. Now I have to check the inhalers because they're probably out of date now, being that we're in, what, 2022. So it's something we can go and get over the counter to and just have as a replacement in case we need as well. So I do need to do that, so I'll probably do that. So the other thing I want to point out is just remember with this, like, we're only taking this if we actually get sick. It's only for the adults, but it's not something we would take continually on day in, day out, because of the high levels of zinc and vitamin C in it. Like it's much higher than what you should take ongoing every day, and the warnings on the back. So if you want to know about this kind of stuff, like I said, ask your doctor, ask your pharmacist. This is just what we're doing, but that's, yeah, I just want to let people know, don't just go buy this and go start taking it every day because it might be dangerous, because that's why there's a warning on the back. So don't do that. But anyway, that's my little haul. There's a few things I still need to fix up on and stuff. Have a look at that video that I said where the doctor talks about stuff that will help you. It's linked below. There's things like if you've got COVID, a breathing thing and stuff that you can get to monitor breathing or pulse or something like that. We don't have that. I have heard of people that have registered with that COVID line when they've been having struggling breathing and stuff like that, that whoever they're talking to have actually got one of those machines to them so they can monitor stuff. So I don't know if that's a thing or not, but there's something to do with that, I guess, so maybe look into that. But yeah, I'll try to put all the links below to those two things that I said, especially if you end up with COVID and you want to register and get support. That will be registered below. In Victoria, I don't know about the other states, so it's something you want to research in your state and see what help you've got in your state, because I know each government has different things in place. Obviously, because we've had a lot of it here ongoing for 2 years, there's a lot more things in place for us, and like financial support and all that as well. So definitely have a look at all of that. But if you're in another state, check it out, because I'm sure they'll start putting all these things in place for you as well. I would assume anyway. So anyway, all right guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed my little haul. Thank you to the people that did and have messaged me. Actually, when I was doing my stockpiling video, they messaged me because they've got COVID right now, or they've had COVID, and they're like, get Hydrolyte, make sure you've got Hydrolyte. I've got Hydrolyte, okay, and it was in that video. So I'm hearing you and I am listening to you, of course. So yeah, it's always good to ask other people that have had COVID too what they think would have helped them more. Definitely have a look at that. And the guy in that video actually also said honey. Now we have honey in the cupboard all the time, but honey in warm water will also help as well. So I don't know, look into it, have a look at those things and decide for yourself, but this is just what we're doing. But yeah, thanks so much for watching guys. I hope this was helpful to someone, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Bye.
But you've kept me far away from my focus, and to my heart I cannot lie. Stars